G'day, gentlemen. Your resident red pill man from the south here. Alright, so. What a glorious day it is. Anyway, it's around Christmas, New Year's time, and things are good. It's good to, get out of the work cycle just for a bit and take stock and give yourself not only a physical but a mental break and just recalibrate yourself. It's good. And for those who are working through, you're soldiers and we thank you. Anyway. So, my fellow red pill men, my fellow brothers in arms, if you will. It's story time. Alright, so, I am, as if you've viewed my channel before, excuse me, still battling through this bloody throat. Oh, man. It's just itchy enough, eh? It's a pain in the ass. Anyway, so, I'm a just under 30-year-old male, white male in the Western world, at the arse end of the world. So, Western nation, arse end of the world, bottom southern end, you can figure out what's going on. Anyway, so, I want to just, put it out there. I believe in God. I consider myself to be a Christian. I'm far from perfect, but, I accepted Christ a long time ago. Well, what it seems like a long time ago. It's been well over, 14 years now? 14 years, yeah. So I've followed God for 14 years now. I don't Bible bash anyone, nor do I have any reason to. And yeah, stay with me, lads. It's leading into context here. So, I've been to quite a few churches in the city I live in, and the city I used to live in a couple of years ago, right? So I've been to quite a few churches in different, couple of cities in my country. So I don't know what it's like overseas firsthand, but there are similarities between organizations between Western nations, and a lot of you will testify to that. So yeah, I've been going excuse me, going to quite a few churches for a number of years now, and I've seen quite a few distinctive similarities, particularly when it comes to social culture. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a bash or a rant or a trash talk on churches. It's not that, right? What I'm trying to say, or the point of what I'm trying to say, more or less, is if you're a red pill dude and you believe in God and you go to church, or if you, excuse me, even in a social context, like even if you take faith out of the equation, if you're at a social club of some sort, or if you're at a, sports gathering or whatever, there are similarities you can cross over. But I'm talking about the context I personally experienced for a number of years, for at least 12 years, right? So there's a lot of social pressure in churches that I've been to anyway. I won't name names because, privacy and that. Yeah, there's social pressure to, get attached to a woman, date her, court her, get married, have sex, have children, build a family, and here's the clincher. Here's the consistency that I've noticed throughout all those social messages and all that social engineering, or, social programming, some of you might say. Here's one consistency that I've noticed. There's a few to get hooked up with a woman, right? There's a pressure to get, have a family, have kids, whatever. Commit to the church. there's always the financial underbelly, right? The financial undercurrent, tithing. For those of you that don't know what tithing is, tithing, T-I-T-H-I-N-G, or tithe, it's effectively giving 10% of your income to, it's supposedly back to God through church means. So, you know, that's the collection plate that goes around, or, you know, the tithing PayPal that's open for everyone to donate to, you know, whatever have you. However they do it, it's the same concept. So, oh, by the way, if you tithe, if you go to church and you tithe, I'm not bad, right? Because I used to tithe. I used to do it for 10 years plus, right? 10% income, bang, 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 every damn week. Still, you know, how can I say it, going through trust issues, at least in a financial aspect, when it comes to, right? Because you read between the lines, and boy, oh boy, you soon start guarding your wallet when that happens. Anyway, so, that's the context, right? And that's what happens. But here's how I analysed how they did it. So, bear with me here, fellas. I'm getting to the point, well, it'll make sense soon. So, women, right? They, by and large, I'm generalising here, yes, but for good reason. By and large, women will go along with the social norm, right? And they'll encourage others to do so. To go along to get along, right? It's part of their social game, okay? That's why they, you know, they vote for certain things they're less inclined to vote for, right? But here's the clincher. The churches that I've been to, not saying it's all churches, but specific churches I've been to, right? They will say, you know, oh, we promote relationships and, you know, leading to marriage and marriage having families, you know, kids and all that stuff, you know, building a family through marriage, all that stuff. Which, you know, on the surface is healthy, and, you know, for a long time I supported that. It's like, yeah, that's cool. It's not for me, but yeah, it's healthy. It's good for people that want that sort of thing, you know. And you know, I had a very positive perspective on that. But Red Pill doing what Red Pill does, it wakes you up and it helps you read between those lines. So, here's what's happening between the lines, or at least from what I've seen, right? So what I see is, first instance, single young man, particularly if he's you know, new to the church, or if he's relatively new. They will do everything they can to make you commit to that church, right? They don't say, oh, you know, you found God here, but you can find any church you want. That's what I'd be saying, you know. You don't have to stay here. You're welcome to, but, you know, if you feel inclined to go to another church and, you know, further your spiritual journey there, that's cool, man. All power to you. I'll support you in that. That's great. But you are encouraged to stay at the same church, right? That's thing number one. Seems small. That's just my phone, don't worry. So, it seems small, but man, is it important. Okay, so, staying at the same church, got it. You know, a lot of people, they say no problem with that. Like, objectively, there is no issue with that, that's fine. But, then down the track, you know, you plant your roots down, so to speak. You plant yourself next to the river, as they say. The house of living waters, you know, that's cool, but, you know, an analogy that has a lot of meanings. So you commit, you're around for a while, you know, you network. It's good to have connections, you know, it's a for the most part positive social environment, you know. And I liked it. Quite a few of my mates that I still hang around with and keep in contact are from churches that I've been to, right? Like most of them kind of faded away, but there were some genuine dudes that I made friends with that I, you know, stick around with today. It was great. But here's the thing. When you're around for a while and you're inclined to, you know, get to know women and, you know, that sort of thing, and pursue relationships and things like that, there are women in churches that prey on that. Right? They prey on that certain thing. Not prey as in like pray to God. I'm talking predatory stuff. Like they look for that thing. They look for that thirsty desire within men to get hooked up with a woman, right? They use men's sex drive and their instincts and their primal nature against them, right? That happens society-wide, but I'm just talking in the context of churches that I've been to, right? So they use that instinct against us. And yeah, I had a few female friends. Well, in my opinion, I can't really have real female friends anymore because they just want stuff from you and it doesn't work. It's incompatible anyway. Moving on. So I had female friends there, and you know, you have access, or at least social interaction with quite a few, you know, above average, or you know, you can find a pretty nice piece, if you know what I mean, in churches. Like it's, you know, they get themselves all dressed up, you know, they put the war paint on, the makeup, and you know, they present themselves pretty nicely, at least the ones I've interacted with. And there are every flavour in the world of every person in the churches I went to. You know, it's diverse, whatever, you know. It's just like any other organisation in that regard. There are people from all walks of life. So, the key is, if you get in those social circles, right, if a woman approaches you, which is extremely rare, or if you approach a woman in those churches and you want to start something, you want to get to know them, you know, it's no longer about friendship or, you know, looking from across the room or whatever classic bullshit lie you believe. You know, you want a girl, you know, you want to, like, I want to know this girl, I want to spend more time with her, and you know, whether you want to bang, well, of course you want to bang her if you know you're attracted to her, but there's a social pressure, right, to get to know and to, you know, get in relationships with these ladies, get married, because the rush to marriage, like conversation or bloody dating or kids or whatever, you know, all that stuff that they want. It's all about what they want, right? And you're just a facilitator. You think it's going to be magical and all fun, right? You think it's going to be companionship and, you know, marriage, sex, kids, all that stuff, right? But I read between those damn lines. I thought to myself, do I actually want this? I thought to myself, do I want to be around this person like day in, day out? Do I want to enter the dating scene in this particular, do I want to date this woman? Do I want to, of course you want to bang her if you're attracted, but even if they're attracted to you, which by the way you can tell it's not that hard. I'm not a model, but hey, it's pretty obviously what you notice when the attention's pointed at you. So yeah, that's the second tactic. They get you committed, number one, to the church. Number two, they get you committed to a woman, or, you know, leading to relationships and marriage, that sort of thing. And number 3, here's the clincher, they use her. Because let's remember, women are more inclined to go with the social norm, to go along, to get along. It's part of their social strategy. A lot of you red pill men out there will know this very well. Okay, so I think I was like 20 at the time, like 19, 20-ish, give or take. So, you know, young dude, you know, totally dick-thinking individual, you know. But at the same time, just like my 16-year-old self, I was thinking, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Just hold on a sec, step back, and think, what are they doing to me? What's going on here? Is this really what I want? To pursue this woman? Even if you're so-called lucky and they pursue you, trust me, they've got way more to gain than you do. A loyal ATM. A bloody loyal guard dog, ATM, for, you know, that's what they've got to gain from it. And they can dispose of you whenever they want. Yeah, divorce is frowned upon in churches and in God's eyes, but hey, a lot of them don't care about that. They don't find what they want, bang, they bounce, they're out, they're gone. They're pursuing it somewhere else, whether it be in a bar, club, other social gathering, whatever, even another church. Because churches, man, it's not like we're angels in there. We're not perfect. We struggle with the same things that everyone else struggles with. We just choose to follow God. That's pretty much the only difference. Like we're trying here, right? But man, oh man, they use that woman, and they use women on a organizational level, especially the ones that are got boyfriends and husbands and whatever have you. They use those women to manipulate the men into committing more and more, into giving more and more, into sacrificing more and more and more, and giving of themselves, their heart, blood and soul into those churches. I'm a single man, but and I was, you know, single when I was in that particular church at that particular time, but I served in various teams for about 6 or 7 years. Almost every Sunday, just bloody, you know, helping out, fulfilling a function of the church that helped it function as a whole, you know. I was a cog in the wheel, if you like, or a cog in the machine, or, you know, a gallon of fuel in the big tank, you know, that sort of thing. And afterwards, boom, when I left for my own personal reasons, you know, to pursue other things and to, you know, live my life and just do something else. Not out of spite I left for my own personal reasons. Boom, the majority of them anyway, they just forget about you, man. A lot of you dudes listening will testify to this, especially if you've been in the church context before. Bam, you're forgotten about. I'm happy doing my own thing, and whoever wants to come along, they come along, and I filter that shit like crazy, right? Like, I have to really trust you if you want to come along my life journey. But, boy oh boy, the people I thought I was tight with, the people I thought I was, you know, really close to, man, I was just a recruit. I was just a grunt in their front line, man. I was stupid enough just to volunteer myself. Oh, man. It's not a personal offense, it's more, why the hell did you do that, man? Like, why the hell weren't you aware enough to take care of yourself before others? If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. So you got to put yourself first in that regard. Whether it's on a selfish level or whether you do it to help others. Either way, you have to take care of yourself first. And man, they use women to, because, you know, it's all using man's sex drive against him, right? It's using men's desire for female company, to put it in one way. Men's desire for sex, relationships and family, right? Whichever one you choose, or all three, or a combination, doesn't matter. When you hook up with a woman, from what I saw, man, when it comes to the church context, from what I experienced, man, those men were led around. They were paraded like ponies. They were treated like possessions. They were treated like ATMs. Oh. No wonder I didn't bloody jump in. No wonder I didn't bother getting involved. No wonder I stayed single, and I'm still single. Single again, it's great. No wonder I didn't get involved. I was keen to get involved. I was like, yeah, man. Finding a church girl, you know, getting married, that stuff, you know, companion for life, sex, you know, all that good stuff. I was so close to, you know, committing to someone. Not saying who it is because of their privacy, but boy, oh boy. I dodged a bullet. Oh man. They're just, churches are no different, gents. Finding a virtuous woman in church is still bloody hard. I thought I found someone with character. I thought I found someone with integrity. When I was about to commit, when I put myself on the line, and I was about to take the plunge, just no way. That was a moment of awakening. A reawakening, like a reminder. It's like, hey, whoa. Just stop what you're doing. Take a step back. Is this actually going to work out for you? I know you want to please. I know you want to please her, get it? I know you want to make her happy. Because it's men's desire to make women happy for the most part, right? It's part of our sexual strategy. At least to some degree. But holy cow, did I dodge a bullet. Several bullets, in fact. Because, you know, if you're in the scene long enough and you've figured out what's what, you soon know who's interested and who's not. You soon see motivations between the lines, you know. You see what's behind the curtain. You soon see beyond what's held up in front of you like a mask. You soon see what's beyond the blinders, man. So, after a long rant and a bit of life story, those three things, man, in the church context, that's what they use to trap you. I've seen it. I've seen men fall for this. I almost did. I was this close. I was a hair away. One step closer. And I would have taken the blue pill, hook, line, and damn sinker. But I didn't. No. I said no. I decided not for me. No. So those three things, they get you to commit to church. They get you to commit to a woman. They use your own instincts against you to do it. Your own sex drive against you. Your own desire for companionship against you, right? Sense of community, sense of belonging, they used a lot against you. At least from what I experienced, right? I'm not saying all churches do this. I'm saying the churches that I went to, the things I experienced, that's what happened. And third, they use women. They use that to control you. They use that to socially engineer significant parts of your life. So commitment to the organisation, commitment to people, commitment to a woman and relationships and possible marriage. And then they use those connections against you to make you do things you don't want to do, to pressure you, to socially coerce you into being a cog in their machine. And the undercurrent, which I noticed, is there is a financial commitment throughout the whole thing. Tithing, right? It's just not for me. Oh man, my throat's getting sore.